Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. What you don't know could cost you thousands of dollars, potentially $50,000, or in some cases even more. Now, obviously, that's going to be the biggest number, but I wanted to dive into some of the, special features of the intent to file. There's actually two things. Most people understand intent to file and what it does, but for those that don't, I'm going to cover that first. What is an intent to file used for? Is it mandatory? Why file one if you don't have to? And then secondly, I'm going to touch on extending the life of that intent to file. For those that already understand intent to files, know that there's an expiration date, and how can you get that extended and still preserve that initial intent to file date as your effective date. So with that, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. The two asks: let the video run and hit the thumbs up. Pretty easy to do, and that helps to put this information into the hands of those that need it. I really appreciate that so much. If you want to support the channel in other ways, please consider being a member. You can do so by going to the home page of the channel's homepage. You'll see highlighted members, and then there should be a join button somewhere. And that is a way that you can help to support the channel, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you to all you members. It also allows me to find you quicker in the comments. All right, let's jump into it. So the form for intent to file is 21-0966. 21-0966. That is the intent to file form. It is not mandatory. You do not have to file this form, although it is extremely easy to do, and there is absolutely zero reason, well, maybe there's a reason, why you shouldn't file this form. The only reason, in my opinion, why you should not file this form is that you already have everything already put together. You didn't know about this form before, and you're getting ready to file your claim now. And if that's the case, then look, just file your claim. And the date that the VA receives your claim will be your effective date. But barring that, most people have the idea that they are going to file a claim far in advance to actually filing the claim. I need to file a claim for this, that, or whatever, or I need to see if I should be able to file a claim, or, I missed some things in the past. I think I need to file for these. I need to gather some of the evidence so I can file that claim. All of those types of situations, first time claims, all of that type of stuff, you should absolutely file the intent to file, the 21-0966. File that form. Again, very simple, easy form. What happens for you is once you file that form, you are informing the VA of your intent to file a claim for pension or compensation. Now, you've established that you're going to file a claim with the VA, and the VA basically stamps that with a date and says you have 12 months from the date we received this intent to file. You have 12 months to file your actual claim for compensation or pension. So now what? Well, now takes the pressure off a little bit, and now you can actually develop your claim. You must absolutely provide the evidence that's needed to support your claims, right? So if you're filing for 5 different things, you need to have supporting documentation for those 5 different things that you're filing for. Okay, it's very important. Now that the 3 kind of pillars for a successful claim are: you must have your time in service, and you need to prove it, right, with your DD-214s or what have you. Could be 1 DD-214, could be 5, who knows, right? But that creates that window of opportunity. So you're proving your time in service, gives you that window of opportunity, entry date, exit date. Secondly, you're going to supply a diagnosis. Self-diagnosing does not count. You must see a doctor and have them diagnose you for migraines, even though you know you have migraines, right? Or you need to go to the doctor and have them diagnose you with GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, because you have this horrible heartburn that keeps you up and feels like you're drinking hot lava and you can't lay down flat and can't sleep. So, provide the diagnosis. That's number 2. Now, a little kind of side shoot off of that. If you have any prescriptions for that specific condition, that's evidence too. Show that you have a prescription for whatever that condition is to treat it. Is also evidence, right? So it just helps to solidify the diagnosis. And in some cases, not all, if you have medication to treat the ailment, it could warrant a higher rating in some cases. So just another kind of important piece to understand. Number 3 is the nexus, the link between your condition and your time in service. Now, what the VA is not looking for solely is, hey, show me that the military caused this. That's not really what they're saying. Although we think that's what they're saying, that's not really what they're saying. What they're saying is, show me that your condition manifested during your time in service or is a result of your time in service. So that's basically all they're looking for. So you don't need to show any reason why you had migraines. Simply speaking about your migraines during your time in service would help to substantiate the nexus. Now, barring that you let's say that you did not say anything during your time in service, now you slide over to you've been out for 5 years or more, and finally you get diagnosed and you finally start dealing with your migraines. You got to build a bridge back, is what I call it, and you're going to need to get letters and you'll have to complete statements and so forth. You complete a statement yourself explaining that you would see the medic or the corpsman and they would give you Motrin. You'd buy it from the grocery store or the gas station, and you basically would treat yourself with Motrin or aspirin or whatever, and get your doctor to write you a nexus letter explaining that it is at least likely as not that your migraines have manifested during your time in service. And in any buddy statements, if you have anybody that knew you during your time in, could even be a spouse that could attest to knowing that you had migraines during your time in service. So that takes care of that. So you still need to supply all that stuff. So once you gather all of that stuff together and you file it for each one of your conditions, right? So now you file your claim. If you file your claim within 12 months of your intent to file date, then the VA will use your intent to file date as your effective date for any sort of back pay. So the numbers would look like this. Let's just, for pretend, say you had 10 months of time go by for your intent to file. Then you filed your claim. So you're within your 12 months. So you're good to go. You preserved that effective date. Now the VA took 10 months to complete your claim. And they made a decision and they ruled in your favor. Great. That's awesome. Now you have 10 months of processing time the VA had and 10 months going back. That's 20 months of back pay, which is gigantic. That is a lot of money back in your pocket. Now, what if you do not meet all of the requirements needed for all of your conditions? What do? How can you preserve that back pay date to your intent to file date? You're pushing up on the 12-month mark. What do? If you have 5 conditions, and let's just for giggles, say you don't have all of your evidence for all 5 conditions, file for them anyway and provide whatever you have, even if you know that they are going to deny your claim. File for all of your conditions that you want to file for. Let the VA deny you. They will deny you. Let's say it takes them 10 months. Fine. In that 10-month time that they're processing your claim, you know they're going to deny you, so you need to continue to try to develop your claim. Get all your other evidence in and get ready for that denial. Once they deny you and you have your evidence, you can then turn around and file a supplemental claim. This will help you preserve, or will preserve, your effective date to be that intent to file date. And you'll have 1 year from your original denial to file that supplemental on those same conditions. Here's the important piece. Your conditions that you're filing the supplemental for must be originally filed and denied, right? You can't not file for them and then file for them later and still try to get that effective date. You have to file for those conditions. So let's again say you filed your intent to file, you're coming up on the 12 months, you don't have everything together, you just throw whatever you have at the VA. They deny you on all 5 conditions. It took them 10 months to process that claim. Now you have 12 months still in order to file your supplemental. So even if you're still trying to find all the evidence and get everything together, Even if it took you that long, you still, in this situation, basically have 32 months, 10 months your original, or 12 months your original intent to file, plus 10 months of processing time, that's 22, plus say another 12 to file your supplemental. Now all of a sudden you're at 34 months. So 34 months of time to get everything together and back to the VA as a supplemental claim to preserve that original intent to file date as your effective date. So if you had 34 months and then it took another 10 months to process your claim, now you're at 44. If they approve you and at any sort of substantial rating, they're going to back pay you all of those months all the way back. So very, very important stuff. So what you don't know could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.